Well, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Central Coast Sporting and Recreation Regional Stadium for the Men's 20s Grand Final for the Country Championships 2022. New South Wales touch football. James Preston and David Stone bringing you all the action. Stoney, this one should be an absolute classic.
Yeah, looking forward to this division. I do enjoy watching the youth coming through, especially in our country. I've got a big investment in a lot of the country kids and got a lot of time for them, but haven't been able to watch too many 20s games. I watched a little bit of the Wallsend Wolves before and they look sharp, but looking forward to seeing the Central Coast Dolphins and possibly some State of Origin future players coming out of these age group.
Well, it will be the Central Coast Dolphins in that dark blue strip to get first use of the ball. The Wallsend Wolves in the light blue strip. It's a stacked side. Will Botham in particular, the number 3 for Wallsend, is arguably the player to watch.
Yeah, he's already had a little taste of State of Origin. He was in our squad as a young player, but watched a couple of games of him today and he looks sharp at the moment. I think the experience of that and also NYC that they've just come back from, that experience has really helped him and he's playing really good touch football.
And it's very much leading by example as well. Just before the players took to the field, he was there marshalling the troops on the sideline, telling them to focus. We've got one more game. Let's give it our all and come away with the trophy.
Yeah, I like the style that Wallsend play. They play a really good style of touch football. They're well coached as well. They've got Dylan Thompson down in the box. And yeah, he really helps this team a lot with development around the Wallsend affiliate.
So Wallsend with a side that has clicked at pretty much every single opportunity throughout this tournament. They've had star performers across the pitch. Can they bring their A game for one final match for this 2022 Country Championship? For the Central Coast Dolphins, it's a very young side in this 20s division. Plenty of players who are playing well above their year. Just waiting, I believe, on confirmation for a finish to another match. So I think we might be in drop-off on another field here, Stoney.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay. I'm not too sure. I'm just looking around. Field 1 and 2's ready to go. I'm not sure whether they're playing a game out on field 6 or 7. I'm not too sure. We might be just a little bit ahead of time, I think.
Let's have a look at this. I think official kickoff time is potentially 1:55, so might just be holding off a little bit here.
Yeah, we're 2 minutes ahead. Everyone's a little bit eager for these grand finals. This is 3 rounds of grand finals here. We've got the men's 50s, I believe, on field 1. Looks like between Newcastle City again and also that could be the Canberra side. I'm not too sure of their exact name. But then on field 2, we also have Newcastle. And does that look like a Maitland team, possibly?
Yeah, I think it might be the Redbacks over there. And just in terms of this division, working through, the Central Coast Dolphins remain undefeated so far. They've played 7, they've won 7 for the Wallsend Wolves, despite looking red hot so far. They've actually finished throughout the regular pool tournament in 3rd position, but they've done a great job to work their way into the grand final here. This one should be an absolute classic, and it is the Dolphins with first use of the ball. They drop it off, and O'Brien hops in at acting half, receives it once more. Caught just shy of the try line. Last play now here for the Dolphins, and they're marked up very well here in defence by the Wallsend side, who can now work it away from their own end. We talk about tapering with athletes, and I think they've worked their way nicely into this tournament. They've come home strong on day 2 as Botham, the X-factor on this side, takes the touch. Now Glover. Caruso hopping in and acting half, but they've played that off the mark. So the first coach killer of the match here, Stoney.
Yeah, we'll see that a lot with the under-20s boys. It's about who can control themselves the best and play percentages. You see a lot of them little coach killers, the 1%ers, where they aren't quite that experienced and a lot of things are sort of rushed. But hopefully we have a good game here.
Last play here for the Dolphins, nearly all the way through. Good tracking in defence though. Glover, I think it might have been, along with Caruso. Yes, the two combining. And here they are now combining with ball in hand. Glover comes forward. Heavy contact there on Buckley. I think that, I must say, I thought that might have gone against him with ball in hand for a moment there.
Yeah, it could have done. It was a 50-50, but went the Wallsend Wolves' way. And good drive here by both of them, working the ball forward.
Plays it as he rolls. And now Bull, centre of the field, receives it back once more here from Colin. Bull. Charging at the defensive line. Last play now. They've lost their footing. Long ball over the top. Nowhere, though, for Rupek to go.
A good read here by the winger. I believe that's 88, Holt.
And good work there from Nathan Holt. Just ensuring there was no further encroachment onto his try line. As the wind really starts to pick up here at Tuggerah.
This could create a bit of havoc with the long balls, especially these young boys. They love to throw them.
So it is at the moment favouring the Dolphins. It'll be behind them, and you can just see there the pass was delivered reasonably flat but pushed forward significantly from that very strong breeze.
Yeah, it has picked up. Lucky we got good scaffolding here, Jimmy, because I tell you, it would be a bit windy and a bit wobbly if it wasn't.
I'd be a very nervous boy, that's for sure. Heights are not my strong suit. Last play now for Wallsend. They come darting out here with Graham. Graham, great pace. Nearly beat them all. He's suggesting he did. Still looking for support. He's called to play on. Ball over the top. Rupek for the corner. Wallsend are in. There's a bit of conjecture here from the Dolphins defenders. They'll have a chat to the officials, but I think they're going to award this.
Yeah.
Yes, Rupek goes in for the first try of the match, and Wallsend start well.
He's got a set of wheels, old Graham. He scooped straight through the middle there, and we thought there was a touch made, but he was the one that played the ref's whistle, and that's what you got to do. Don't give up until the ref blows that whistle.
Spoken like a true coach, David Stone. Of course, you're flexing your muscle at State of Origin level. Is there any players in this particular fixture that you're having a close eye on leading into, obviously, the State Cup coming for December, and then the next State of Origin series probably in a couple of years from now?
Yeah, well, obviously both of them. He was in our squad this year, but I haven't had a big chance to watch a lot. The TID period will probably start next year, I'd say. Just after this year, it's been a bit of a crazy year. Everyone's having a little bit of a break, but obviously still watching a lot of the youth. I like to bring young kids through, and obviously I've always got an interest in who's coming through as a player, but yeah, definitely interested to see who will stand up in this game.
Here is Glover over the top. Juggled, and had he took it in one sweet motion there. Ashton Daly, he would have been in for all money, but they'll still get another set to play with. It was touched in flight. So Rupek, the try scorer, flings it out of acting half onto the waiting hands of Caruso. Here is Caruso now. Back to Glover. Touch comes, Glover in at acting half. Flat play, ball shifted over the top, certainly gone forward. It was marked up anyway. And I'll say the wind has pushed that as opposed to being directly out of the hands forward. Play on now for the Wolves. Caruso receives it back from Glover. Glover caught now on the last play. What can they conjure up? They've passed it directly into one of the Dolphins defenders. He's suggesting he pulled his hands away, but he was up in the line.
Yeah, he was up in the lane, and when you're up in the lane, you're always looking for the ball to either intercept it or possibly knock it down. But I like the play with the passive out the back here. Because of the wind, the long ball isn't really on, so need to keep the ball short, change your directions.
Won't deter Glover too much, who tries for two long passes in a row. But good pressure out there on the wing from the Dolphins, so Wallsend can't add to their lead. A really competitive start to this grand final, exactly what you want to see. A little bobble there and just reeled in from O'Brien. However, they're still going to be pinged for an indiscretion within that set, so a changeover in good field position here for the Wolves. Glover comes out to Caruso. Now Daly straightens it. Glover once more receiving it. Heads towards the sideline and then off the field. The big guns on deck, including Botham. Here he is with the ball now. Colin slows it down. Feigns to go to Botham, who wraps around now. They decide better of it. Heading for the line. I think they've done enough to get there in time there. Yes, Kane Coughlin came across with the touch. Still a couple of plays here. They cut out Botham. Go to Colin. Drop it off, and now Botham off the right foot, spears a pass. Nice and wide, but once more, good watchful defence from the wings.
Yeah, they need to condition the defence a little bit more and be patient. Maybe take them short side on a couple of sweeps. Get the Central Coast pulling a corner and shutting down from open side. That will create that long ball when he steps back later on in the game.
So the Dolphins now with their subset heading towards the interchange area. And they'll pick up another set to play with here. That's music to their ears. Jackson to touch it, and off he goes. Coughlin. In fact, that was Walker there in the 67. If ever there's a commentator's nightmare, it is most certainly the Central Coast Dolphins numbers here, where it starts at 23.
Yeah,
so Walker once more now.
I'd say they work it with the open system a bit.
Good little jink, trying to get to ground quickly, but Colin made the touch. Back to the 7 metre mark they go. Last play now for the Central Coast side. Walker with the goose step. Quick hands. They promote it on here. Play that here from Rupek, but Rupek takes it in. The chase is on. Rupek's got 40 to go. They're coming quickly. They won't get him. Oh, beautiful play there from Will Rupek. He makes it a double in the grand final. 2 tries to nil against the runner play.
Yeah, well up in the lane there, in the channel. It was either a 50-50. I think if he got it, he scores. If he doesn't get it, they score. So it's a big play there by Rupek.
Very much an all or nothing scenario. And he's come away with the goods. And that does heap a bit of pressure now on the Central Coast Dolphins in this grand final. 2 tries to nil, Wallsend lead. Midway through the match. Played here from Pattinson. All getting to ground quickly. And I don't think they've got a touch in time, have they? The referees will just confer here. And it is awarded, so the Central Coast Dolphins are on the board. A lovely dive from a fair way out as well, it must be said.
Yeah, play star. That was a nice little, what they call a Cindy play, where a middle sweeps to the short side and the link didn't pull hard enough corner and Playster just dives through, but nice quick play by Playster.
Very acrobatic from him. So now Wallsend will look to strike back immediately. Caruso receives it. At first receiver for that matter, Botham. And now Caruso in at acting half. Fires it back to Glover. Glover looking to open up a passage here for his link partner who is caught. Back to the 7 metre mark they come. Caruso. Glover once more. Last play here for the Wolves. Caruso looking to find some sort of opening. The flick pass was threatened, but they covered so nicely in defence there. Good scramble.
Yeah, both players switched up there. I would have said like to have seen one go to the sideline just to create that option there. Central Coast with a good rucking set, working through the middle.
It's around 9 minutes gone so far in this one. Still plenty of time to play. 21 on the clock. 2 tries to 1 in favour of the Wolves. Good pressure coming up in defence here from O'Brien. They'll say it was a bit too much though. They left too quickly here, the Dolphins. We've seen that with certainly Doyleson and also a lot of the Central Coast sides. They like to rush up out of the line and put the pressure on. As Daly crabs across field. Rupek, who's already picked up the opening 2 tries for his side, supplies a pass, and then Colin hops into acting half a couple of times. Here he is again now with it, Colin. Straightening up, the touch comes in. Flat ball at the line, popped over the top. Really to nobody. Daly wasn't expecting it and didn't have enough guts about it to reach the wing of Rupek.
It's a lot of end-to-end at the moment, James, and penalty, a bit of a relieving set here for the Dolphins, and need a little bit of flow, I believe, from both sides. And a bit of mouthing, I believe, in the under-20s, a bit of back chat to the referee, and he's not going to tolerate, and he's marched him another 10, and he's also force-subbed him. So discipline needed here for the Wallsend Wolves.
And that could cost them. Taking a little bit of time to get the full complement of players back onto the field. They launched a raid nice and quick there, the Dolphins. They could have capitalised. They might still do so.
And there's Playster again on the short side. I think he's a bit of a threat by the looks of him.
He's got a great dive about him, Sebastian Playster. Jones. Pattinson drops it off. Back to Jones. That was touched in flight, it looked like. Well, they rule 6 again. Daly suggesting he didn't get a hand on it. There's a lot of pointing going on from both sides, but It will favour the Wallsend Wolves here. So play on is the call for Wallsend. Oh, long pass under all sorts of pressure there from Holt, who jammed in off the wing. Rupek out wide. Onto the field now is Sculthorpe. Short ball here for Caruso. Glover keeps rolling forward. Nice momentum about this set. Ball over the top. It was the right idea, but just needed to either select wing or link. It was somewhere in between.
In two minds there, I think. But nice setup set there. See if they go back to that on their next set.
So Glover comes in with a touch, followed by Botham, who now picks up the loose ball. They can launch a raid quickly. There's no one out there for the Dolphins. They've just got to spread it. They've held it up for a little bit too long there. Caruso, they needed quick hands. So Botham and Caruso just showing a little bit of a lack of urgency. Glover, now to Botham. Can he make up for it on this occasion? Dives from a few metres out. He's saying surely there was no touch in time. And the referees happen to agree with him, do they? No, they've gone back on the decision. That's an odd little interaction there.
Yeah, but they're giving them the penalty. I'm not too sure if they've said, what's that? Is that 7 on? Is it?
Not sure what the call was. I saw 10 fingers up, not 7.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing that, but the play continues and Wallsend Wolves attacking the line.
Here's Scuthorpe raiding a short side. They were back in time, so they played on the 7 metre mark here, the Wolves. Caruso up very quickly is the middle for the Dolphins. Losing the footing there was Playster. Nothing happened on the back of it though. Glover dumbing every which way and then retreating back to that 7 metre mark himself to play it nice and quickly. Botham. Now Glover tries to work for the strike dump. Botham running it offside defenders. However, they just got the feet back in time. It was good work there from Isaac Truscott-Jones.
Yeah, good defence there, and they come hard at Botham there and didn't give him any time to look to ball play.
So 10 metres shy of the halfway line, they play it. As the reinforcements arrive, they're a little bit slow to get out there though. Certainly not one of the better transitions, and they're punished for it.
Yeah, that's a good call by the referee, but Central Coast coach wouldn't be happy. That's about the third set they have not completed. They're not getting to even halfway, so this could really hurt the Dolphins.
They're certainly up for the battle of the Wallsend Wolves. They finished the pool stages in 3rd position. Central Coast Dolphins undefeated up until this point. But they're really being pressed and pressed hard here from the Wolves. Botham says, let's go forward. That's not the way to do it though. You've got to start by getting the ball in the hands. So change over here as Walker has a crack himself. They keep driving forward here. Just shy of the halfway line. Bit of miscommunication in the pickup, so that's the second time in as many sets they've been caught with a little bit of miscommunication. Play on, says the referee.
Recycling the ball good here, James.
Yep, just picking up those extra metres with every single play as O'Brien looks to exploit some sort of numbers there, but once more, they just can't capitalise on the good early plays in the set. Daly off the left foot. Botham wrapping around. Rupek is there and now hops into acting half. Scuthorpe drops it down. Lovely transition here from the Wallsend Wolves. Colin picks it up. Oh, geez. Ankle breakers for himself and everybody else for that matter. Still dancing away here. He's created something out of absolutely nothing. It's brilliant from Colin. Has he bounced it at the death, though? I hope not, because it would undo all the good work of Colin. No, they'll award it. What about the footwork there from Colin?
Very fancy footwork and something to jot down, one to watch. He can really punish the Central Coast Dolphins, but let's see if they can hit back here. They just seem to have dropped off a little bit. Not completing sets, and they have to really pick their mental attitude up here and hit back on the Wallsend Wolves.
So 3-1. The Wolves in the ascendancy here over the Central Coast Dolphins, undefeated up until this point. But they're having all sorts of troubles, including with their handling. Colin picks it up with delight, having just set up a try. He works it away from his own end, and they're just starting to get a bit frustrated here, the Central Coast boys. I think this could be a forced sit down.
Yep, there it is.
There he goes.
This could be a big part in the game here with him to sit out at least 2 sets here. Wallsend Wolves can strike twice and get it back to 3-all. That's massive.
So Wallsend already in cruise control, and they've opened them up again here. Spicer trying to work something, but he's left it behind. So that's 1 set. Still 3 more to contend with here for the Central Coast Dolphins. They don't want to concede a game, but that's not going to help them. The Wolves, they are howling and they're baying for blood. They want more points on the board. Glover comes forward, slowly but surely. They don't need to work anything just yet. There's an opportunity already, though, for Scunthorpe if he wants to take it. Back to Caruso. They've got numbers every which way you look. Touch comes in, Botham wraps around. Short ball, Glover, the long pass. Rupek, great step off the right foot, collects a hat-trick. It's 4 tries to 1.
Wow. Rupek, he's the man. He's the man you got to watch out for. Big, tall winger as well, which I personally like. Got a lot of speed. But comes back to the discipline, I believe. When you're defending with 5, it's very hard. Very hard for the Central Coast Dolphins to defend 5 versus 6.
It's made the overall mission that much harder. There's only 12 and a half to go, so we're getting into the final third of this match, and they trail by 3, the Central Coast Dolphins, the much fancied Central Coast Dolphins for that matter. Pattinson in the centre of the field, looking for options, but with that man less, there's not many presenting. Provides it here for Travis Jackson.
Dropping out of the touch.
Just gets away from them. He's trying to create something out of nothing, much like Colin did a couple of sets ago. Short ball here from Jackson. They'll drop it off the strike dump here close to the line, but once more they're just numbering up in defence.
Good defence there by the Wallsend Wolves, and Central Coast Dolphins get back to 6 on the field. They need to really work hard these next couple of sets to get themselves back into the game.
Quickly approaching the final 10 minutes. It's a nice big buffer here for Wallsend, 4 tries to 1. As Scunthorpe drives hard at the line and picks up good metres. Oh, but he's lost it in attempting to play it. He wanted to keep the roll on going quickly. It's a bit of a coach killer, though, that one.
Yeah, it was. And as we talked about from the start, them 1%ers in the 20s, they count massively. If you make their mistakes and give the other team ball, they will complete and score tries.
Well, that there, though, is a case of classic scoreboard pressure. They're starting to get a bit concerned about the margin they have to make up. Just got the full complement back out there, but going for the all-or-nothing play very early in the set, deep in their own end. Once more, they invite the Wolves into a good position here. Botham plays it. Colin sweeping around, hops in at acting half. Botham again. Botham, nearly getting all the way there. He's got it down, in fact. He flicked up the heels just at the death. It was an acrobatic finish. It collects their 5th try of the match. And he is killing them out there, Will Botham.
Yeah, that had to be played through. The toucher, the defender just went basically automatically sideways and never made the try line. So he had to play through the referee. And really good play on and good slide. Dive by Botham there.
So 10 on the clock. Plenty of work to do for the Dolphins. They trail by 4, 5-1. The Wolves have gone from strength to strength in this match. Buckley. Touch comes in. Played on the 7-metre mark. All the momentum now out of the play. Last here, Buckley still looms as an option in support. He gets there and he gets it to ground really quickly. It's a great piece of play there from Buckley. And he lets his opposite Ashton Daly know about it as well.
Yeah, I like that play. I like the Cindy plays as well, but Wallsend Wolves are defending the Cindy really well. They're dropping early, which is making the Central Coast pull out of the touch and then realign. But that was a good setup there by the Central Coast Dolphins.
So it's an end-to-end grand final here. Wallsend still in a dominant position. Oh, the ball out in front of both of them there. Just reeled it in time. Graham out there as well. We've already seen him cause a fair bit of havoc for the defensive line, both of them. Oh, great footwork. Gets it out to Rupek, who's looking for try number 4. And they'll get one more play here, so he's lost count of it. as will Rupek. Botham goes for the flick pass straight into the hands of the opposition. Now is a very important set for the Dolphins. Still a bit of way to go in this one in terms of both time and also the scoreboard, and that's not going to help. A huge miscommunication once more, then kicking the ball away too to add insult to injury.
That's hurt the Central Coast Dolphins in this game. Not completing their sets. They'll probably watch this back and they'll just go, that's the difference between this game, was them not completing, giving cheap turnover, and Wallsend Wolves will just dominate and keep completing their scores. And Central Coast at the moment, they're just not disciplined with their ball.
Graham to Botham. Botham just slowly walking up towards the try line and wanting to put it down, but his opposite was indeed back behind that line himself, so touch affected. Graham, Camborne. Graham again with Botham running around, creating the extra man, or just missed the link and also fell behind the wing position. So this is the time now for the Dolphins. If there ever was one, with around about 8 minutes on the clock, they trail by 3, 5-2. They need to be next to score. This is a much better set working out of their own end. And the transition is smooth. This is more what we've come to expect from the Dolphins. They work at pace here. They've got them backpedaling. The dummy comes in, but Botham makes a big touch there right at the death. Last play now for the Dolphins. Not out of the woods yet are the Wolves. They fling it on here to Plaister, who's already got to try himself. Jones nearly drops it with the big dummy. Nowhere to go, though. They step up nicely in defence. And the Wolves are on song in this match.
That was a big set, defensive set there by the Wolves. I thought they were done on the fly play, but both of them recovered and defended well. We have Rubek.
Flat pass there for Daly, but he keeps the momentum working. Rupek shifts it on here for Scunthorpe. And Bull also out there. Last play now with Spicer. Spicer with what must be a 50-metre long pass. 20 of it sideways, 30's gone forward.
That's another coach killer. That ball was out of the hands backwards, floating forwards. I don't think the Wallsend winger would have got it. And unfortunately, the Central Coast winger's gone for the ball and dropped it, so it's 6 to go.
You're 100% right. It's a play that didn't need to be made. That's the ultimate summary of it. So they'll get the touch in here. Still on the attack. Colin puts the ball back on the inside. It could be a very important one. Did he hold it in time? No, the touch came in.
Geez, Colin sharp. The fast movement, the feet work. Be interested to see if he's got a passing ball on him. It's good left ball, left to right.
And they get there in time as well. They've beaten the diving cover defence. That could just secure the grand final for them. 6 tries to 2. They just can't keep giving so much possession away in good field position.
Yeah, that's all it's come down to in this game. I think Central Coast, they're a quality side. It's just too much turnover and field position. You've got to win that midfield, and if you're not completing your sets, the other team's dominating you.
O'Brien comes forward. They need a result from this set if they are any hope of launching a comeback and at least pushing this one into an extra time period with the drop-off zone. That's played at there from Lachlan Spicer. They'll get another set here, and you can see the urgency with the Dolphins play, sprinting to collect that loose ball and get things back underway. Round about 5 to go. The margin is 4. They'll play it on the 7-metre mark. Off balance was Buckley. Back to the middle they come with O'Brien, who drops it off. 7 away, ball over the top. Once more, a panicked play. They still had a few touches, should I say, up their sleeve, so just not needed.
No, they're trying to chase the scoreboard now, I think, and all these little mistakes there, they're just piling up, unfortunately. Good hands, unfortunately just ran out by Rupek.
Well, this is what we talk about with the 20s. There's a play that absolutely did not need to be made. They're up by 4. Time is on their side, and for some unknown reason, they've gone for a 15-metre cutout ball coming out of their own end. So now the Dolphins have a really good chance here. Pattinson receives it, gets the quick drop down there. Pattinson's hurt himself in the process. Still live as an option. Flings it on. Oh, great hands out wide. And a big dive as well. Riley Jones makes it all the way across the try line. We do still have a ball game here. 6-3 with about 4 minutes on the clock.
Very good hands out wide by Jones, but good play. I think that could, what what do we got? 6-3, James?
6-3 with 4 to go.
Yeah, right.
There is time.
There is time. It's going to be interesting, but Wallsend Wolves can't worry about running the clock. They've got to play their sets out still.
That's put a little bit of a spring in the step here of the Dolphins. They're up quickly to meet them from that touch-off as Graham comes. Now slowing it down. So time is on their side, the Wolves. They just need to be smart about their sets from here. And they will sap every precious second off the clock. Botham, great feet. And then the tip-on comes. They won't mind that too much, though. It's away from the Dolphins subset.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot to turn the ball over, but this is a massive set, I believe, for the Dolphins. They have to score this set because they only get around 30 seconds for each set of 6, so they've probably only got 3 or 4 chances at tops, and this will help them.
Well, that seemed to be a very deliberate ploy there. He saw that the rest of his teammates were still backpedaling, decided to come in with a big old whack as he made the touch. I'm not sure if it was particularly a smart play, though, because it does give them a full set to play with in good field position here. So maybe ill-advised as they march it on here. Out it comes through Coughlin. Quick play here. Oh, diving at the line. Botham has been collected in the process. Back to the 7-metre mark. They still have plays up their sleeves, though. The Dolphins off now to Coughlin. Ball in 2 hands with Plaister. Plaister throws long, but straight into the opposition hands. And I think that might do it, Stoney.
Yeah, that might do it. If they complete this set at Wallsend, I think that might be it. Unfortunately, Central Coast are just a little bit far behind for that grandstand finish, but they've tried hard. It's just the mistakes that are killing them. And here we can see once again, repeat set. Wallsend can really start running the clock down. There's about 2-3 minutes to go. Start playing the clock.
And a bit of back chat as well, so they get marched further upfield. So insult to injury here for the Dolphins. Certainly frustrations beginning to boil over. Colin comes centre field, dancing around. Better moves than you'd see at the Doilo, which he might go to after a bit of a win here. Dives at the line from about 3 or 4 metres away, but they get the touch in time. Inside 2 minutes to go for the men's 20s grand final. Wallsend against the odds are going to run away with it here. The touch comes in from Jake Elliott, and it's 6-3. It's a bridge too far here for the Dolphins. Can they at least finish on an upbeat note? Quick play, 2 metres shy of the halfway line. Very flat pass out of dummy half as the reinforcements arrive. Forward they drive now. Walker is out there. Nice little pick up from acting half. They've got them backpedaling. Oh, Colin's done a great job there in defence. Jeezy's had a big final 10 or so minutes of this match.
He's been good towards the back end of this game. He's been a pivotal player for them. And he's got some speed. I like his footwork and speed. And I wouldn't mind watching him a little bit more as he progresses through the ranks of the touch football.
Well, here he is taking that last little ruck up. As Rupek delivers out of acting half. Caruso back to Glover. Smooth once more. Each and every play here is deliberate, calculated, just looking to get through their sets and let the clock do its job. Central Coast Dolphins now marching towards their subs box. They know the game is probably gone for them. Coughlin, there is the full-time siren. The game is now officially confirmed to have fallen in favour of the Wallsend Wolves. They are victorious in the men's 20s division, your champions for the country championships for 2022. New South Wales touch football, a really impressive display there from the Wallsend Wolves.
Yeah, it was, and the Wallsend Wolves, they just played their percentages and completed their sets really well. Colin there and also Botham, they were dominant through the middle and on the back end of their sets with their ball playing and feet work. So really good game there by the Wallsend Wolves. But the Central Coast boys need to keep their heads up. They're a good team. I'm sure they'll fight back in the State Cup, and that's where they want to take the big championship as State Cup. That's the big prize that everyone's always fighting for.
Well, certainly the points decision, at least in this battle, has gone the way of the Wallsend Wolves. They are victorious, and up for you next, we really do have the penultimate show for you. Should be an absolute elite fixture here. The men's Open Grand Final in about 5 minutes' time. You don't want to miss a moment of the action right here on New South Wales Touch Football Facebook. Leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. And, of course, all the action is set between two Central Coast sides. It will be the Wallsend Dragons taking on the Central Coast Dolphins, the Men's Open, in about 5 minutes' time right here on Bar TV.